What's going on, you guys? Hailing from the East, this is your boy D and the Beast 94 here, coming back at you with another video, and a type of video I normally don't get a chance to do because I normally don't get tagged in these, but yeah, a tag video. Shout out to MarkBoy316 for tagging me into this topic of discussion. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is talking about my first vivid memories of wrestling, what got me into pro wrestling. And I will be tagging 3 people at the end of this video, so please be aware, please be advised. And if you get tagged and like tag videos, I'm sorry. So anyway, let's go down memory lane, because this is kind of rocky, because it's like it goes one way and then it goes another way. But let's start from the very beginning. Late 90s. I was 3 years old, so probably like late 90s or so, 97, 98. And my mom was flicking through the channels one day, and wrestling just happened to pass her, and I kind of went like, oh, kind of like my signal, like, hey, stop, or like, go back. And we went back, and it was wrestling. Don't recall. She doesn't recall what show it was. It could have been Raw, could have been Nitro, could have been any sorts of WWF or WCW television at the time. It could have been another promotion. Who knows? But that's where it starts. So this is where it's kind of like there's multiple memories, but they really just stand out. So started getting into the action figures and everything, and it was late Christmas of 98. I remember it vividly. It was 98. WWF was releasing the Bendums, the action figures, those rubber figures where you're able to stretch out the arms and the legs and everything. I think between my grandmother and my mom, they got me a whole set. So I remember getting guys like Undertaker, Stone Cold, Triple H, LOD, New Age Outlaws, and so on. And I remember getting the ring with it. And when you got the ring, I believe it came with an exclusive Paul Bear. I could be wrong, but if you guys have any information on that, leave it in the comment section down below, because I believe that was an exclusive figure when you bought the ring. Going further down the line, video games. So I started off with Nintendo 64 games. So a lot of wrestling games that came out for the N64, and a lot of them were cult classics. I vividly remember starting off with the WCW games. So WCW Mayhem, WCW NWO Revenge, which is probably my favorite N64 wrestling game of all time. And then further down the line, we would get these games. So WrestleMania 2000, and possibly the best N64 wrestling game of all time, No Mercy. I'm probably going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but No Mercy's not really my favorite, but it's up there. It doesn't pass WCW NWO Revenge. Let's just put it that way. Sorry, not sorry. So, going on with the first vivid memory of actually watching pro wrestling. It was 2003, and I was a big SmackDown guy. And the only reason I was a big SmackDown guy was because Monday nights I had a curfew. Had to get up early for school. Couldn't really watch wrestling for the full entirety. So I would watch Raw for maybe like an hour before my mom would come in and shut off the TV and be like, "It's time for bed. You got to go to school." And it's like, fuck, man. Like, come on. I want to watch wrestling. And Raw was, the flagship show for WWE. But then there was SmackDown. Something really that just caught my eye was SmackDown. I don't know if it was just because it was the blue brand, or it was just the certain athletes that were on that show at that time. The SmackDown Big Six. And at that time, I was a big fan of guys like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and so on and so forth. But the first vivid memory I have of wrestling was the Iron Man match between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. And, there's a lot of times where I sit there and reflect and I reminisce and go back to that match, and I'm like, wow, this is really what got me started. This is how the journey started. And I never thought I would get this far into wrestling today. Not just watching either. You know, as you guys know, I've done a lot of stuff with interviewing wrestlers and being part of a podcast and just being a part of YouTube, reviewing wrestling DVDs and autographs and doing unboxings for you guys, and you know, just certain updates and news that I just love doing for you guys, and I wish I could do a lot more. But you know, otherwise, back to the main topic of discussion. Yeah, Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. That was pretty much the first match that really got me into WWE. And I believe that's why I fell in love with the Blue brand. That's why I always preferred SmackDown versus Raw, or SmackDown over Raw. Yeah, you know, just a lot of the superstars that were there at that time. Mysterio, Guerrero, Cena, Benoit, Angle, Edge, Chavo Guerrero Jr., you know, just to name a few. But a lot of those guys really stood out from my childhood. And then later down the line, the first pay-per-view I ever got a chance to watch was WrestleMania 20, March 14th of 2004. I remember that date because it's literally the day before my birthday. And, you know, the show was so stacked at that time. It was such a great card. To me, it was. I feel like it was probably one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And compares to a lot of WrestleManias during that decade of the Ruthless Aggression era. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my first vivid memories of wrestling. You know, early days, just getting toys and playing with the N64 video games, and just getting a chance to relive that and share my experience with you guys. So, when it comes to the tag video, I'm not sure if these individuals have been tagged already, but I figured, you know what, I might as well just tag them anyway. But the DVD Freak, since he's back and doing videos again, I'm going to tag you, my friend. I'm going to tag TN Couponer, and I'm trying to think of another person. I'm not really familiar with a lot of people on YouTube other than the main people I really talk to. Oh boy, who can I say for a third person? You know what? I'm going to tag everybody. Everybody who wants to do this tag video. Anybody who wants to be a part of this experience and sharing your stories and just telling other people your experiences when it comes to your first vivid memories of watching pro wrestling. By all means, you know, just be a part of this tag. You know, just thank me, or you can thank Markboy316, whichever. Yeah, this was fun. This really was. I haven't really done a video like this in a long time, so I want to thank Markboy316 for having me go down memory lane. So, be sure to hit that like button, leave your comments in the comment section down below, and subscribe, especially if you're going to be watching my videos and you're not subscribed. What are you doing? Hit that button. Until next time, guys, Dan the Beast 94, signing off.